Raffaele Benedetti, tell me a little bit about what's happening in technology and blueberries, because there's quite a lot that is going on in the packing house to improve the grading and sorting of blueberries. What's happening?
Yes, it's like a revolution, I think, because it happened in the other industry, like for example, cherry, 10 years ago. It's now also happening in the blueberry industry. So now the nice thing is the production is growing up fast, and at the same time we have also to keep the consumption high. Otherwise, there is no match between production and consumption. And to keep the consumption high, it's the only way, my personal opinion, is to deliver a standard quality along the time.
Standard high quality.
High quality along the time. And to do that, the only way is to analyze the fruit one by one, and in that the technology should help a lot. So that is the reason why I think that in the near future, the 100% of the facility, they need to grade and size and sort the fruit well to provide the high standard quality blueberry.
Because still today, when I go and buy blueberries, as I do most weeks in my local supermarket, I'll buy a punnet, and you'll see sometimes different sizes of blueberries in the same punnet, and therefore different tastes in the same punnet. And I have to say, as a consumer, I'm sometimes dissatisfied by that. Are you saying that the kind of technology that you're providing will allow a more consistent product for me, the consumer?
Exactly, yes. That is the main key point, because I think that consumer today is willing to pay a plus for a blueberry against the other fresh product. But on the same time, the market, the consumer wants to be treated well. So now it's true that till yesterday, the 99% of the punnets you can find the mixed sizes together, and most of the time, especially with the imported blueberry, you find also a lot of soft one or rot one.
Because they've traveled some way.
So I think that today the technology they have, at least to help, first of all, the packing shed and the facility to reduce the manpower, because also we listened in these days that one of the biggest problem also is to find people that they can harvest from one side and pack on the other side the blueberry, because the demand is very high, and we are fighting against not only the fresh fruit and veggie sector, but we are at least fighting with all the other sectors. So the economy, especially in the not poor country, but in the emerging, developing country, they are fighting with all the industries. And so we have at least to have the opportunity to find good people, but they have to do smart works, and you start to use the technology to help the industry to deliver a high standard quality.
Now the technology that you're using for blueberries, is it essentially the same as that you would use for cherries or avocados or other products?
For sure, we took the experience of the other product and we transfer it to the blueberry, but blueberry is first of all smaller, and it's a little bit difficult to run it. Secondly, we have to preserve the blooming. So also this is another important issue. So we try to bring the experience, for example, from the cherry industry. We brought it in the blueberry, but we innovate on that. Try to keep these two characteristics: the blooming from one side, and to run with a very soft and delicate product like the blueberry.
And what about the thing you haven't mentioned is the question of flavor, the taste of the product. And again, one of the disappointments sometimes in buying blueberries is that you can buy a product that looks good, but actually doesn't taste so good. What are you doing with your equipment to kind of to remove that problem for the consumer?
So today we are mostly working on size, color, and color also sometimes is an issue in terms of flavor, because when a blueberry is a little bit red, it means that it's not perfect mature. So if we are able to take this blueberry out, at least we improve the flavor of the blueberry. Secondly, we are taking out the soft fruit, and soft fruit not always are bad, but they will become bad soon. And third, we are also have the technology, but till now is not. Till now, nobody requests this because probably the gap between the previous technology and the new one is still big. But the next step also will be working on the bricks, content, and acidity, because at the end, the real flavor of the real good flavor of the blueberry is a mixing between bricks, sugar, and a little bit of acidity. So I think that we can bring the at least NIR technology that we are running in other product also in the blueberry industry soon.
And in terms of Unitec and you as a company, I know that in cherries, for example, every packing shed you go through in Chile virtually has Unitec's machines nowadays. Where is your main business for blueberries? Is it again in countries in Latin America?
For sure, we have started there because there is a huge demand of technology that helps them to achieve a long-distance market like China or Far East market. And for this reason, like they did in cherry, they are doing the same things in blueberry. Consider that Chile export this year 180,000 tons of cherry, was a huge crop this year, and they are exporting almost 100,000 tons of blueberry. And they need at least by boat between 30 and 40 days shipping. So the technology helps them to achieve that market and to reach that market with a good standard. But now we also start there. We developed our first machine in Frusan 5 years ago. And now we start to put also technology and provide technology to the US market, especially with in the Oregon, and then we are in Europe, Spain, Poland, England, UK too, and also we are in South Africa, and we are also started selling the first machine also in Australia. So we are a little bit cover the market all over the world, but the high demand is coming from that company that they want first of all to export and to have a high quality standard product.
And we've heard today at Global Berry Congress that there are many new growing countries that are producing blueberries in the world. Now, those are all potential customers, of course, for you. You must be very happy. But I come back to the first point you made, where one of the problems about increasing consumption is for the customer to get a consistent product. If we're in a situation where a lot of new product comes onto the market that is not consistent, that is perhaps not the best quality, that could be a problem, don't you think, for the continued sustained growth of the blueberry business?
For sure, it will be, first of all, because till today, not always, but the price of the blueberry for a consumer is still high compared to a banana, for example. And so the customer wants to eat something different and at the same time achievable in terms of money. One of the last things I heard in the last conversation was, in the high season of the blueberry in Europe, why don't we start to pack the blueberry in 500 1 kilo punnet? For sure, that helps the price to be reduced, because to fill a punnet of 1 kilo, the cost is almost the same to fill 6 punnet of 125 grams. So if we want to reduce the price, but without taking out the money from the growers, we have it in one side also to save some money in the packaging. Probably now the company that make and produce punnets, they hate me. But on the other side, we have to respect, first of all, the one who's paid the bill to everybody of us. That is the grower from one side and the consumer from the other side. If those two actors are happy, we can make business in this sector. Otherwise, I think that we can face a lot of problems in the near future if we do not respect those two players.
Well, I have to say that it seems generally today that most people in the blueberry business are happy. Thank you, Raffaele, for your help.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.